Welcome back, folks. Tim Thiessen live from Fresno, California. By the way, it is overcast and rainy today, and our thoughts and prayers go out to our tree fruit growers out there right now. They're really struggling with disease issues and everything with the strange weather we're having. Gone from record heat to rain and cold weather right now. So keep our farmers in mind. They are the people that are putting, our farmers and their employees are putting food on our table each and every day. My next guest is Steve Worthley, Supervisor, Tulare County District 4. Steve, thanks for coming in today, and great to see you again.
Nice to be here.
And, there's a lot of talk about local government, state government, city government, and everything else, and a lot of challenges ahead for everyone right now as an elected. So pensions, that's always a big issue, and that's in the front page and in the forefront of everybody's minds. And Tulare County is a little different structure than other counties and even the state. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes your pension system different from others?
Well, Tulare County is part of what they call the 37 Act counties. There are a number of counties that are 37 Act. That means we have our own independent system as opposed to the Public Employment Retirement System, PERS. That involves all the state employees, and many of the counties and cities are part of PERS. But it means basically we set our own assumptions, our own rates, and we are responsible then for our own workforce. Tulare County is the primary employer. There are some other groups that belong to our organization, but really what's saved us has been our sort of conservative nature.
Okay, now, so you're funded completely within?
Correct.
And so there's, okay, now who manages the pension fund? Do you have an outside manager? Or?
Well, we have the Tulare County Association. The retirement system is totally independent of the county. The membership is made up of retirees and county supervisor and public members, and they employ different people actually to provide them with economic information and recommendations on how they should do their investing.
Okay, as a matter of clarification and the difference between Tulare County and say some of the other counties, is the problem coming because of the state pension system? You're separate of that.
Yes.
Is that where everybody's getting into trouble now with the backfill? Or
well,
what's happening there?
The real problem started with the state of California when the California Highway Patrol negotiated contract benefits of 3% at 50. And what that means is that for every year of service at the age of 50, you get 3% of your salary. So if you started at age 21 and at age 51, you've got 30 years, you get 90% of your salary. And that benefit was given retroactively to the employees, not prospectively. And that is really what began the process. Once they did that, about 1,600 officers immediately retired from the state of California. They began hiring people, of course, from local police departments and sheriff's departments. And so you found cities and counties jumping on the bandwagon thinking if we don't follow suit, we're not going to be able to keep our employees. And consequently, they gave these retroactive benefits. At the same time, you had a time in the stock market and real estate market where most of their funds were superfunded. That is, they had more income in their funds than was required. And so they were being told by their actuaries, you can give this benefit and it won't cost you anything. Mm-hmm. That was the big mistake because actually it was done in a bubble. And when that bubble burst, all of a sudden these rates, these funds dropped dramatically, and we're paying the piper now.
Yeah, it's a real tangled, and every county, every city is a little bit different. We've had several instances where these funds have gone way up, and but then there was also federal law that was binding certain cities and counties to that they had to only run 110%. So they had to give that money back to the employees, and now they're shorthanded, and now the big crunch is the market's adjusted and down we go. We did have one question that came in, and that was regarding marijuana in Tulare County. The supervisors say they are concerned about marijuana. What specifically, Mr. Worthley, are you doing in dealing with the growing problem?
Well, we have several facets of the marijuana problem. The single biggest one involves our public lands. Two-thirds of Tulare County, half of Tulare County is owned by the federal government. And so in our national forests, national parks, and Bureau of Land Management lands, we have had a problem of Mexican cartels coming in and growing large plantations. Our sheriff likes to enforce the law throughout the county, and so he's been aggressively doing so. But the federal government, really, the resources they provide have been inadequate to really deal with the problem. Now, that's not to say they haven't come a long ways, because they used to give us $40,000 a year as a subvention while we were spending $250,000 of Tulare County taxpayers' money fighting marijuana grows in the national lands. That's now up considerably. But the problem really is that it's such a large problem, the funding is not adequate to really deal with the problem completely. And so we have that problem. The other problem is down the valley floor, and this is part of the making of our own policies, where the people of California voted for the concept of medical marijuana, and people can grow medical marijuana. But of course, people push the envelope, and so they'll grow more than they could reasonably need for their medicinal purposes. And so we find that this is happening throughout the county. It's not just in Tulare County, it's a problem elsewhere also. But it creates a real problem for law enforcement, and our district attorney is limited in what he can do in terms of prosecution, because if people have these medical cards, is 100 plants too many? It's an open kind of question.
Yeah, very, very, very open. And matter of fact, Mr. Klein is going to be on here in about the next month or so, and so I've been chatting with him. A couple more issues before we run out of time. Measure R as it relates to railroad stuff. That came up during the election cycle last year, and we've got railroad right-of-ways. Some of those are very important to certain industries, and there was a lot of misinformation during the last election. I was really upset about it until I read the paperwork and really got a clarification. So, kind of walk us through Measure R, which is a bond or is a sales tax, right?
Yes.
But there is a specific amount of money that has to go designated for railroads. Is that correct?
Well, the way that the money is broken out is that 85% of the funds go for roads, 50% go for regional road projects, 35% go for local roads and maintenance, 1% for administration, and 14% goes for other. And the other includes such things as bike paths, bike trails, pedestrian trails. There is a specific provision for studying of a light rail between Visalia and Tulare. At the time, no one thought specifically about railroad rights-of-way, but the Tulare County Association of Government, that's not the County of Tulare, but it's an association that involves all the cities as well as the supervisors of Tulare County, voted to spend up to $3 million for the purchase of railroad right-of-way to try to preserve rights-of-way that otherwise may go out of existence. And then if ever the time comes when railroads are needed in some parts of the county, when those rights-of-way are gone, they're going to be gone forever. So that's really what's happened. At this point, the county has not spent one nickel of taxpayers' dollars. None of the Measure R dollars have been spent even for the study of this concept. And it is only a concept in nature. Nothing has been done to buy anything. But certainly we're very interested in trying to preserve the rights-of-way and the existing rail lines that we still have, because they are important to some of our industries and have the potential to provide tremendous job opportunities and development in the future.
Oh, it does. It definitely makes a difference. So we have I really want this to really be clear to everyone watching today. So the other portion of the Measure R, can you sweep the other back into road projects, or does that other need to be designated for something?
That's correct. The 14% is not available for roads. It has to be used for these other projects.
Okay. Well, right now my vote goes for the railroads and not the bike paths, and it's really simple. I have a couple of business interests with as a stockholder in railroads, and how they operate is they go where they're wanted and where they're going to be used. And a lot of companies and a lot of people don't realize this. That short line that goes from Fresno through Dinuba, Strathmore, Exeter, and then all the way down to Formosa, I mean, that's a very important link. And a lot of companies are looking to locate. They don't necessarily need to be on a rail spur, but they want close by rail access
Well,
for bringing materials and everything else. And if we drop out of that criteria, that takes Tulare County, parts of Fresno County right off the list as far as companies looking to relocate here. And that's, we need to bring jobs to the area, period.
And Tim, we have lost the rail itself from Porterville South. That's already been removed. Actually, from Lindsay South, it's been removed. So the rail is gone. The right-of-way is still something for us to try to negotiate, to try to purchase, to preserve, but the rail no longer has, it's all been pulled up.
Okay, what about, isn't there a link from Formosa up? Or is that?
No, that's the part that's gone.
That's
the
all
part
gone.
that's gone, yes.
That's from Joe Vista then all the way down to
That's correct.
Formosa.
Now, and I think people should know, too, that we have the Union Pacific main line running through Tulare County, but they're only going to service you if you need 100 cars, or going to ship 100 cars or receive 100 cars at a time.
Right.
And one of the benefits of these short lines is their ability to service businesses that could use 1 car, 5 cars, 10 cars, 30 cars.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be able to do that on the main line. So if you think, well, that's great, I'll locate along the 99 where the UP is, and you only need 30 cars, they're not going to service you.
Yeah, they will not stop.
They will not stop.
For less than 100 cars.
And that's today. Who's to say tomorrow it might not be 200 cars? We don't know. Their business model says that they're most profitable when they travel at least 700 miles before they stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the larger picture, I can't emphasize this enough. We need to look at all the things that are going to make this valley attractive, all parts of the valley. And the only way we're going to really get out of this slump, we have water policy that's upside down. We're constantly talking about water on this program, and we have to do everything within our power to bring jobs back to this valley and maintain the ones that we have. Steve, we're just about out of time already. Fastest 12 minutes of your life.
Went very quickly.
And so anyway, thanks for coming in today, and we're going to be right back with John Eastman here after this commercial message.